So Chuck,
Yes.
we haven't talked about God in a while.
Oh, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, it's just that the history of civilization, anytime people had gods that they revered, they're in high places. The heavens have been associated
Right.
with deity
Correct.
from the beginning,
Right.
okay? And so my field, astrophysics, directly confronts many people's questions regarding our existence.
Right.
For that reason.
Mommy, where's heaven? Oh, it's up there. No, it's not, because I have a telescope. It's not up there, Mommy.
Right. So you have that intersection
Right.
of people's curiosity and what actually happens in modern astrophysics.
Okay.
And if you are religious or prone to be religious,
Right.
it's
Which
easy.
I think everyone is.
But perhaps, yeah, we're
I think
human.
We're prone to
It's a
be. I mean,
human
it doesn't-
thing.
It's a human thing.
There's an urge, I think, to see that which is unknown in the universe. You hear of it. Big unknowns like dark matter and dark energy. Two hugely mysterious pieces of modern astrophysics that are unresolved.
Right.
And they're not little, they're big.
Okay.
You add them together, it's 95, 96% of what is driving this universe, and we have no clue what it is.
That's insane.
No
Yeah.
clue. Anyhow, so we can measure them. It's not a mystery that it's there.
That is there.
All right. We can measure their existence. We don't know what it is.
What it is.
All right. And there's precedent for that. We knew about the spectra of stars as soon as we were able to bring a spectroscope to the telescope.
correct.
So this interesting information here. We don't understand it, but we know it must be important. It's different for this star than that star.
Right.
Oh, these two stars match. Let's make a catalog of all the spectra. Later, we would learn quantum physics, and we could then interpret what was going on. And thus was the birth of our modern understanding of stellar evolution. The first steps are the measurements. So it's not so weird that we have measurements and don't know what it is.
Right.
So there's not only that, there are other questions that are just simply yet to be answered,
Okay.
as opposed to mysteries. So one of them is what was around before the Big Bang.
That's a
It
big
might
one.
have been a multiverse, but even if there is a multiverse, what was
Yeah,
around
the one
before the
before the
multiverse?
multiverse.
Okay. And we don't yet know how Earth went from organic molecules to self-replicating life.
Right.
All right. Earth figured it out. We haven't figured that out yet.
Right.
Granted, Earth took a couple 100 million years. All right.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do it in the lab overnight.
Right.
But still, that's a mystery.
And who knows how many failures over that couple 100 million years Earth had?
Good point.
You know?
Because they ain't left.
Well, they're
right?
not there.
They're
Right.
not there. They didn't survive. So if you lean religious, you will see these mysteries as where God might reside.
Yes.
God is operating there.
Right.
And there's a long tradition of this, actually, but philosophers got wise to it, and they came up with a term for it. We've mentioned it on a couple of other
Absolutely.
of our explainers. God of the gaps.
God of the gaps.
The God of the gaps.
It's a very powerful concept.
And it's got the alliteration, so you're
Yes.
kind of stuck
I
with
like
people. So it's the urge to declare that if there's something you don't understand about the universe, that God must be there with the puppet strings or
Right.
with the forcing of what's going on.
Right.
And my favorite God of the Gaps moment, can I tell you
Is?
that? It was Ptolemy.
Okay.
Claudius Ptolemy, AD 150, in the margin of his greatest work, the Almagest.
Right.
Okay, he masterfully codified the epicycles that he was sure planets traced in the sky,
Really?
with Earth in the middle of the known universe.
Oh.
There's no other way to account for planets going backwards and
forwards.
With retrograde, we have words for it even.
Right.
Goes backwards, retrograde.
Right.
We think the planet's actually doing that. So he does this, but
Right.
it's still kind of a mystery. Why would all that happen?
Exactly.
It's just doing it. I can account for it with my little epicycles. So it's been going on forever.
Right.
This urge.
Yeah.
Okay. My caution there is, if that's how you define God, where science has yet to tread,
Right.
then God to you is an ever receding pocket of scientific ignorance.
Oh, that's sad. I mean, that's
If you
that's-
define
if
God
you
that
define
way,
God
it's
that
an
way.
if statement. There are people who, they're not falling for the God of the gaps.
Right.
To them, God is everything.
Yeah.
Gaps and no gaps.
Right.
Okay? So that God, that's a different God. Okay?
Okay.
That's not just a God who lurks
Right.
Because science is an ever-moving frontier, right? One day we'll figure out dark matter, dark energy, and what happens to your God if that's what it was. All right?
Right. Okay.
So the people who say God is everything, that resembles greatly Spinoza's God. He suggested that the very order of the universe, the operations of nature, everything we see, feel, and experience is God.
Okay. And now I know a lot of people who feel that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So that would be Spinoza's God. And when Einstein was asked, does he believe in God? He said, if there's a God I believe in at all, I'm paraphrasing, it's Spinoza's God. Okay?
Right.
That's a different God from a God that is paying attention to your behavior. So as you come from that posture to gods that are more engaged with you and your existence.
Personally involved.
Then these would be gods you pray to.
Okay.
You wouldn't pray to Spinoza's God. I just want to make it clear to people that when they say God,
right,
God has very different meanings to different people.
There's a tiered
even throughout history
of God.
Even throughout history.
Wow,
correct.
That's great.
Correct.
Okay, I like it.
Okay.
So far, this is great.
So a common God manifesting today in people's beliefs is a God that cares about them and their health, wealth, and well-being, and their prayers, and the like. Okay. So there is a point of view that says this universe is so amazing. There had to be a God, an intelligence behind it.
The intelligent design people.
So in that case, they're not looking at a rock and saying there's intelligence behind it. They're looking at something more complicated than they can understand and saying, there's the intelligence. All right. They look at the operations of a cell. All that going on in something that's microscopic. They're just amazed by it. They're in awe of it. And so surely God is at work around here. Now, so one of them that went around for a while, and I found it very unconvincing, it was the laws of physics are exactly the way they need to be for us to be alive.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, okay. If they were slightly different, then we wouldn't be here. Like if the charge on the electron or the value of the gravitational constant or the speed of light, you know, things like that. And they all configure to make matter and energy come together such that we can be alive in that universe.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, there's some people that even on a macro level, they're like, we live in the Goldilocks zone of these planets, and the other planets are dead as far as we're concerned.
As far as we know. That's
as far as we know.
So with all of these parameters in just the right way, in just the right place, people who are lean religious refer to it as the fine-tuning argument.
Interesting. Okay.
Everything's fine-tuned to produce life, human life. Now, so
He's a God of precision that has placed things in this perfect
configuration,
kind of synchronicity.
Yes.
That all the gears mesh and everything works so that we get life.
And we pop out.
Exactly.
I don't argue the fact that we have constants of nature that if they were slightly different, we wouldn't be here. I don't have an argument against that.
I mean, that's...
But my argument, however, is if whoever created the universe, if there's such an entity that did, why make a universe where we didn't show up for 13.8 billion years?
Right.
Not only that, Earth was not born until the universe was already 8-9 billion years old.
Right.
And then life begins, single-celled organisms. Is this the God of that life? Okay. But that was 3.8 billion years ago. Humans in our current form last, 100,000 years or so, go to a million years, which is a drop in the bucket relative to the 4 billion.
For the 4 billion.
Billion.
Yeah. Right.
Millions to billions?
Right.
Okay. It seems like if you really wanted to make a universe that favored us, we would have shown up much earlier. Much earlier. I'm just thinking. Just if you want.
The argument against that would be that there is no, because God exists outside of time and space, that what we see as 13.8 billion years is not measured by God.
Yeah. However, my issue there is not how long that is, but how long that is relative to us. That's all. That could be short to God.
Right.
But that means we're even shorter. Okay. So it does not
I see
look,
what you're saying.
it does not look like the universe cared much about us for most of its existence.
Right.
That's my only point there.
I got you. Okay.
So the multiverse, each universe would have slightly different laws of physics. Quantum physics tells us this.
Right.
Okay? And would you exist in a universe where life could not exist? No.
I'm gonna go with no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are alive in a universe among the infinitude created in a multiverse. We're alive in a universe for which life can happen as we have come to know it, life as we know it.
Right.
So we should not be surprised that we're having this conversation in that universe and not any of the other infinity universes. And this multiverse wasn't invented in response to a religious argument. It comes out of the math.
Comes out of quantum physics.
What comes out of quantum physics, you're trying to shotgun marry it to general relativity in the early universe, and you see what comes out of it, and a multiverse comes out of it. What makes that less appealing, if you're going to put God in the equation, is generally those gods have certain powers ascribed to them.
Well, they have to.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right? They're all powerful,
Right.
all knowing,
Right.
all good.
Right.
All right? These are common terms invoked. All I can say is that when I look at the universe, an asteroid strikes, rendering, 66 million years ago, 75% of the species of life on Earth went extinct. The universe doesn't look like anyone is in charge of anything.
The randomness of the universe.
The randomness of the 100
It's
years
just
ago,
so random.
100 years ago, before our telescopes were good enough
Right.
to reveal asteroid strikes and stellar collisions and galactic collisions and all this, it was, the beauty and the majesty of this ordered universe.
Right.
I have books that talk about the ordered universe. And then you look closer and it does not look like what people wanted it to be to match their expectations of the God they're ascribing its handiwork to be. On Earth, if I drop you butt naked in a random spot on Earth,
You're probably gonna die.
you're gonna die within a half hour.
Yeah.
Drop you in the ocean,
You're gonna die.
Two-thirds of Earth, 3/4 is ocean.
Right.
Shark is gonna
Drop
take
you.
a bite out of you, you dead.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
If I drop you in the Arctic, there's not even land there.
Right.
You're just hors d'oeuvres for
a polar bear.
Polar bears.
Yep.
So we say, well, Earth is a haven for life. After you've built cities and heat and air conditioning and clothing, and then we say, look how beautiful Earth is.
Right.
So we did a lot of work to make Earth comfortable for us.
Right.
And so I remain agnostic on this. I'm happy to listen to and look at information, evidence, data that might support an almighty, all-powerful being.
Right.
But the distinction is, if you want to say there's a being responsible for the universe, is that the same being who tells you how to pray, who to pray to, what day to pray on, what food to eat, what food to not eat, and who to sleep with?
And why can't it get it right? The fact that there's no uniformity in it is kind of a problem.
Well, it's not a problem for the people who are certain that their God is the one true God.
Well, that's the,
right?
the problem. That is the problem.
But
that they're
because
certain
everybody
that their God
is sure
the one
that their
true.
God is the one.
Right.
Not everybody, but many
Most
people who are deeply religious in their tradition
Right.
are, okay.
Listen, I used to be one of them. I'm not. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a great deal of compassion for people who are devout, and because
Oh, so do I. No,
Yeah.
I got no.
I know you do.
I've
We've
never
had this
been.
conversation.
It's never been a
offline,
thing. I
so-
just want to
Yeah.
openly have a
People
conversation.
think, first of all, let me just say that people don't think that you have compassion for those who believe. They think that you're hostile to it, and what they don't know is that nothing could be further from the truth. And I've asked you point blank, is it possible that you could ever believe in God? And your answer was yes, and then you gave me the criteria for doing
that's
so.
right. There's an elevation above which all plane crashes have ended in 100% dead people.
Right.
Okay, the distance that the plane falls out of the sky. Okay, there's an elevation above which no one has ever survived. Okay, imagine a plane where it crashes above that level and only the Christians survive and everybody else is dead. That things that make you go, only the Muslims survive.
Right.
Only the Zoroastrians survive.
Exactly.
So I could easily come up with a set of, that you want to test it several times. Once would not be sufficient,
No,
as
right.
in any scientific experiment. But I can come up with, it's not hard to do that.
Yeah.
And so my only point is an emergent sense of spirituality in people, because religions have been losing their adherence, their
Yeah, people are not following religion as much.
but they'll still say that they're spiritual.
Right.
And these are people who feel that there's some force out there,
Something greater than themselves.
greater than themselves, but it doesn't come with all of the rules and regulations and baggage, if dare I call it that, that comes with so many religions.
Right.
So I'm simply saying that the universe, if you want to say there's a God involved, ask yourself, is it because there's something you don't yet know how to explain?
Right.
Every example of that throughout history, where science has given attention to that phenomenon, it has yielded to scientific discovery. That's one thing, including the spread of disease,
right? Everything.
Germs.
You cannot argue with that statement. I'm just
right. And so today, if there's something that amazes you or is mysterious to you, I just take my cue from the history of this exercise and say, I'm going to stick with the science,
right?
Because I'm not compelled to throw my hands up and say,
this is God.
God must be in charge.
Right.
Be it Spinoza's God,
right,
or Pocahontas' God,
right,
or anybody's God. At home, I own multiple shelves this wide of religious books, of publications. Yeah. Everything that Jehovah's Witnesses ever left at my door,
I have that.
There's a shelf of that.
Right.
I have there's the Quran multiple times.
I have a Quran.
And I have the
Bible.
I have the Torah.
I don't have the Torah.
Yeah, you don't have the Torah. Yeah,
no,
okay. It's mostly the Old Testament.
It's mostly in the Old Testament.
Exactly.
The Levitical law.
So it's there, and I have large King James Bibles that from the 18th century.
I have several Bibles.
Yeah. So I think about this often, and I think about what passages have affected people in civilization and the like. In most conversations I get into with religious people, fact remains, I own more religious books than they own science books. And so I'm not coming from nowhere. I think about it and I care about it.